how does email phishing work? Let's say this is the, let me grab a pen here. Let's say this is the internet. There is some attacker sitting on the internet, right? And we are also connected to the internet through a router. There is some internet network and PCs connect to it. Our employees are using it. The attacker crafts an email, puts a link of the website he wants us to visit in the email and delivers it to one of our employees. Now one of our employees sitting here opens up the email, sees the link, and he clicks on the link. When he clicks on the link, he goes and visits the website that our attacker wants him to visit. Now by clicking on this link, there's a process that is being run. The process is of DNS query and response, right? When we click on a link, or when we any link that we want, any website that we want to visit, when we click on this link, a DNS query is sent to the DNS server that our PCs are pointed to, maybe the public DNS or internal DNS, and this DNS server resolves the name to IP address of this link that we want him to resolve. A DNS response is sent back to our PC, and then we go and visit that website. This is a simple DNS query and response. For any web server that we want to visit, we have to resolve the name. So how can we use an internal DNS server to block phishing attacks? Now let's say the same scenario exists. We have a router and a couple of PCs behind this router. Instead of a public DNS, we have an internal DNS. Now what does the DNS server hold? It holds some records, right? It holds the records of named IP addresses that it has to resolve. That is the main task of the DNS server. Now let's take the same scenario. We are connected to the internet and there is an attacker sitting somewhere on the internet, right? He crafts an email with a malicious link and sends it to the employee. Our employee again opens up the link, opens up the email and clicks on the link. When he clicks on this link, a DNS query will be made to the DNS server, which is our internal DNS server that our PCs are pointed to. Now when this query is made, the DNS server will go through this list of record name to IP address list to find out about the query, to resolve the query which our PC is asking for. Now if this address or this name to IP is present in the list of the DNS server, a response will be sent back and our PC or our employee will be able to visit that site on the internet. If a list or the record is not present in our DNS server, our employee will not be able to visit that website, right? Because there is no conversion of name to IP, there is no resolution, hence he cannot visit that website. So I have already, this hints to how we can block an phishing campaign. So phishing campaign normally works by an attacker, trying to sound or seem like our legal customers that we are expecting an email from. So he sends an email with the link that the link of the website that he wants our employees to visit, and when the employee clicks on this link, he visits the website of the attacker where he puts his personal information, and phishing campaign is successfully accomplished. Now in this case, if we put an internal DNS server and only put the records of those websites that our organization wants our employees to visit, then we can block the phishing campaign, right? A DNS query will be made to the DNS server, and if the link or the address is not present in our record, and our employee will not be able to visit that website. So if the attacker, no matter how carefully crafts the email and sends it to our employee, if it's not present in our DNS record, he will not be able to go to the website which is being compromised, and hence protect him from any phishing campaign. Now the question arises, is this too much security, right? How much security is too much? This really depends on what we are protecting, right? What is the value of the asset that we are protecting? If the value of the asset is worth the control that we are putting on, then yes, we have to do it. If the worth is not equal to the control that we are putting, then no, we shouldn't be able to do it. It all depends on the value of the asset that we are protecting. So if the value of your asset is worth the control that you are putting, so you should definitely use this kind of DNS, internal DNS structure that only allows your employees to visit those kinds of websites that your organization wants them to visit, so that it's like a not on my premises kind of policy. What is that not on my premises kind of policy? Let's say your organization wants your employees to visit only those websites that your organization has businesses with, or can benefit from, or is expecting a communication with. Your organization is not expecting communication with your social media accounts, so should not be allowed, right, in this case. Or your personal banks or some other personal information, so it should be blocked. If your organization is expecting communication with its customer, with a bank, or with some other services, only those websites can be visited and should be allowed to be visited by our employees. So in this case, an email phishing campaign can be blocked by using a simple DNS record, internal DNS server, and pointing our PCs to it, and allowing our employees to visit only those websites that are being listed in our DNS record.